Speaking of a useful skill I learned in a math class, I'd like to talk about drawing geometric graphs. In the math class of my senior high school, my math teacher taught us how to draw geometric pictures, which is a key to learning mathematics simply because many math problems involve the analysis of geometric figures. I think it is not hard to draw a geometric diagram, but we need to draw rows precisely because a little small errors can and probably lead to wrong result. Firstly, you should understand the simple plan and then gradually learn to understand the three-dimensional graphics. And finally, according to the graphic structure to draw step by step. We can see geometric diagrams in many places in our life. After learning how to draw geometric diagrams, we can have a deeper understanding of the object in our daily life. And in addition to this, I can cultivate the ability of logical reasoning in spatial imagination problem, discover problem, analysis problem, and solving in the process of learning how to draw geometric pictures.
Okay, here we go with sample 3 of the part 2 topic of a useful math skill.
Speaking of a useful skill I learned in a math class.
Okay, don't use this introduction. Speaking of, nobody was speaking of anything. Don't use this introduction.
I'd like to talk about drawing geometric graphs. In the
Okay, why are these subtitles so wacky? Let's move that over there. She put the stress on the wrong syllable. It's geometry, not geometry. Geometry. I'd like to talk about drawing geometry graphs. Maybe she means geometric. Geometry is the noun. The adjective is geometric. Geometric graphs. And then we've got all these uhs here. I don't know what's going on. Let's listen.
In the math class of my senior high school,
In the math class of my senior high school. In my senior high school math class. So the word order here is wrong. My senior high school math class.
Math teacher taught us how to draw geometric pictures.
Okay, here she's using the adjective. I don't quite know what she said after that. Okay, here she got the word right. Geometric.
Which is a key to learning mathematics.
Let's drop this because she didn't say that. She just said is instead of is, which is a key to learning mathematics. Okay.
To learning mathematics simply because many math problems involve the analysis of.
Now, if you're going to say the, we expect to see a noun here, but this is a verb. Many math problems involve the analysis. Analyze is the verb. The noun is analysis.
Geometric figures.
Wow, she's relying a lot on the word geometric or geometry. We see that word appear a lot here.
I think it is not hard to draw a geometric diagram.
Why not say these figures or these shapes or these kinds of diagrams? Use some referencing.
Geometric diagram, but we need to draw rows precisely because
Maybe that's what she did here. Maybe she said draw those, but I can't quite make out the word.
precisely because
Oh, what did she say here?
draw rows
Draw rows. Draw those?
precisely because a little small errors can
It's not a little small errors. It's a few small errors. Errors.
and probably lead to
I don't know why it's can and. Might probably, can probably, will probably.
wrong result. Lead to wrong result.
Lead to wrong with that. I don't know what she means by that. A few small errors can probably lead to mistakes. Mistakes? Not wrong with that. Mistakes.
Firstly, you
Okay, the word is firstly, not firstly. Firstly.
should understand the simple plan and then gradually learn to understand the three-dimensional graphics.
Here's some good vocabulary. Three-dimensional graphics. Just the way that she's talking here is a little bit hesitant. If you listen to her pronunciation,
Then gradually learn to understand the three-dimensional graphics and
she doesn't really get a flow going when she speaks.
finally, according
And she says finally instead of finally. Finally.
to the graphic structure to draw step by step.
I think I'm missing a little bit on the meaning here. I'm missing out on the meaning.
Finally, according to the graphic structure
According to the graphic structure, to draw step by step. I don't know what that means.
to draw step by step. We can see geometric diagrams in
Dramatic diagrams. Is dramatic the right word here? I don't think so. Does she mean geometric? Now it's dramatic?
geometric diagrams in many places in our life.
Like where? Give me an example.
After learning how to draw geometric diagrams,
I think she's saying geometric, but now the word has become dramatic. So this is probably also geometric. Okay, so she's confusing geometric and dramatic, I think.
how to draw geometric diagrams, we can have a
That's not a good sign for your vocabulary score if you're confusing words like this.
deeper understanding of the object in our daily life.
Okay, I think this should be plural. We can have a deeper understanding of the objects in our daily life.
And in addition to this,
In addition to this.
I can cultivate
It's cultivate, not cultivator.
the ability of logical reasoning
The ability to logically reason. The ability to verb. So this has to be a verb. The ability to logically adverb reason verb.
in spatial imagination problem, discover problem.
Oh boy. Okay, spatial problems I understand. Spatial imagination problems I don't understand.
In spatial imagination problem, discover problem.
I don't know what discover problems are. Is it discovery? Because because discover is a verb. Discover problems. I don't know what that is.
Analysis problem.
This might be analysis. Again, she's using a verb with the noun. Maybe it should be analysis, but she says analyzes.
Problem. Analysis problem.
Analyze is a verb. The noun is analysis.
And serving in the process of learning how.
And serving. So many words that I don't understand why she's using them.
And serving in the process of learning how to draw geometric
I think here again the word should be geometric.
pictures.
Geometric pictures. Okay, some problems with vocabulary here. Let's look at some scores. For fluency and coherence, 6 is probably a good score. She did have this introductory phrase, which I don't think is appropriate. But if we look at some other things, here we have a phrase like simply because. We have some conjunctions like because. We have some markers like firstly, sequencer. Oh, did I miss the second one? Oh, here. And then, finally, according to, after, and in addition to this. Okay, so a pretty good range there. For Lexis, I'd say a 5. Simply because there are so many wrong choices that she makes. Like serving in the process. I don't know what that means. Imagination problems. Here she uses the wrong form. These should not be verbs, they should be nouns. She confuses dramatic and geometric a lot. And like I mentioned before, she relies too much on the word geometry. Geometry came up too many times. Geometry, geometric, too big of a reliance on that. For the grammar, I'd say a 6. I mean, she did make a lot of mistakes in the grammar, but the grammar was not the cause of the comprehension problems. The vocabulary and the mispronunciation was the cause of comprehension problems. Let's look at some grammar. Okay, so here's the problem with word order, but we can still understand what she means. Which is, we have a relative clause there. Many math problems involve. Here she used a verb instead of a noun, but we can still understand what she means. These are more vocabulary problems. She can use modals like should. After gerund, ing. She used the present tense throughout, but that's okay because she's describing a skill that we can still use now today. It's not limited to just the classroom. Then pronunciation, the biggest problem was all the mispronunciations, because the mispronunciations make it unclear exactly what it is that she's trying to say. So a 5 for pronunciation.